lot more decisive, but there's your teams. Thomas Brown and Long for the women, Lyles, Bednarek, and Ariane Knighton. Now, in the men's 110 hurdles, that's probably the U.S.'s best chance to sweep in the Olympics. But the men at 200 meters also have a chance. Lyles and Bednarek both ran 19.5 at the trials, and Knighton wasn't too far behind at 19.7. Nobody else in the world outside of America has run 19.5.
All right, sadly, none of those names are going to be appearing today. However, we have the 200-meter men's Diamond League in Monaco. We've got Joshua Hartman, Andrew Hudson, Alexander Ogando, Tarsis Origat, William Reese, Letsile Tebogo, and Filippo. Anyway, look, I think this is going to come down to Tarsis Origat versus Letsile. I think that's what most of us think is going to happen here, but it could be anybody's race. Let's see. We've got the lowest times actually are Letsile Tebogo with a 19.71 personal best. Tarsis Origat with a 19.75 personal best, just a little bit slower. And Alexander Ogando with a 19.98 personal best. So expect to see these top three finishing today. Either way, let's get it underway. I'm kind of just waiting for the 400 meters. That's what I'm most excited for today. So we're going to cover this regardless. Let's get to the race, and then we'll show the results.
Honda and Alabama, and one of the 19.7 guys I talked about, he ran 19.75 this year for a personal best. He'll be in 7.
And here is Tebogo, silver medalist last year in Budapest at 100, took the bronze at 200 meters.
He's the other 19.7 guy. He'll be in lane 5. He leads off the Italian 4x1.
Our winner in Paris was Alexander Ogando.
Ovation here. He's part of in the 4x1 in 22. So the heat is on the outside. Origat in 7 and Tebogo in 6. Both of them we would man to compete in the 200 at the World Championships. Tebogo is coming off of a narrow defeat.
Set.
The two fastest men in the race, Tebogo and outside. Now Tebogo in the orange and blue begins to assert himself around the turn.
Middle of the track, Tebogo and Ogando, and now Tebogo beginning to pull away and takes a look over his shoulder, shuts it down as if to
not the result we were expecting here.
Okay, I'm ready.
Let's see where Tarsis Origat ended up in that mix. You'll actually hear they mention him here.
The two fastest men in the race, Tebogo and Origat, are 2nd and 3rd from the...
So they're also expecting Tarsis Origat to perform a little bit better here. When they're coming off the turn, he is nearly stride for stride with Letsile, sorry. Maybe that's where he made a mistake in this race. Maybe he should have tried to run, I hate to say like try to run his own race, because you don't want to just like let somebody go too far ahead, and you don't want to just take off too far ahead. Maybe in a 200 meters, that's the best thing that you can do, you know, take the lead while you can, but in these longer races, that's probably not the best thing to do. Either way, I just gotta, give me a sec, I want to really rewatch this and see what happens here. So we keep an eye on the red jersey there. He doesn't have like a bad start or anything, he has a decent start, his drive phase looks good. He does look maybe like he's hurting right here. Maybe that's just me thinking that, but it does look like out of everybody in the heat, he isn't really like pushing. He's more so just like there. I don't know. Just what I'm seeing. We're watching like right from the start here. He goes right with everybody else, you know, gets a decent start. He's down too, he's driving. Pumping the arms. Maybe just slows down a little too quick there. That's really what it was. He's kind of... I feel like if I was him, I'd probably do the same thing. He's like running in fear of Tebogo next to him, just like knowing that he's going to pass him. But either way, that's pretty interesting. Let's watch the rest of that. So like, I'm going to go back 10 seconds. I apologize. We're just going to mute that. Watch it real quick. Apologize. All right. This is the part that's like really interesting.
In the orange and blue.
They're stride for stride, but Tebogo just ends up taking off here.
Begins to assert himself around the turn.
And you can see he's trying to keep up.
Right there.
And like you could feel it too. If you've run track, you just know how this feels. Where you're like a little bit behind, and he could turn up and like pick up the pace and pass him here, but it's just the likelihood is so low that like even like sure he could have and like it would have been awesome, you know, nice race, but like what does he gain out of it? That's like what everybody ends up thinking during the race, and like either way he's gonna run a solid time. He just has to keep running. It's just like in this situation winning the race comes down to like he would need to apply so much effort right now to win that he's kind of already lost it, but he doesn't run bad. Let's just watch the rest.
There in the middle of the track.
Sadly, I think he ends up coming like second to last in the heat, but.
And now Tebogo.
I lied. So I was wrong. He's actually not second to last in the heat. He does come third place. It's just Tebogo opens up the field so much that it looks like everybody else is running very bad. But he runs as basically expected this race.
Over his shoulder, shuts it down as if to say, okay.
Who's that other runner? Is that,
I'm ready. 1987.
That's what we were expecting to come in second.
That looks ready.
Oh yeah, it was a gun. All right, so yeah. All right. Apologize. Let's just get to the results. My bad. All right, I've got the results. We've got Let's See Late Tebogo with a 1987. Agondo Alexander Agondo with a 20.02. Tarsus Orgot 20.32. Andrew Hudson 20.43. Filippo 20.43. Joshua 20.54. Ryan Zeze, cool name either way, with a 20.56. And Reese William with a 20.99. Very good performance from every athlete in the field. Let's see Late Tebogo, as I said, he just takes away. He fucking flies off, and he makes everybody else look bad. So it just came down to the fact that when you're in that kind of situation, unless you're running at a certain pace and cadence and putting down a certain amount of force, Let's See Late Tebogo is going to end up, he's a lighter athlete too, so like he doesn't have to put down that much force to go fast. So he stands up flying, he takes off, sorry. And then if you're running next to him and you're not stride for stride with him, once he makes up that little bit of ground, your only option is to like try to make it up and like, you know, try to increase your cadence or push harder. What that ends up doing is then you end up straining yourself and you end up running slower because of it. So I think in a different situation we have like a better performance from nearly every athlete on the field, but Tebogo makes everybody run uncomfortably throughout their race, and it's not his fault, like, you know, it's just how it is. You end up, I'll break it down for somebody that's never run. They say on your mark, you know, you go to your fucking lane, you're looking around, you're stressed out, but you think you could win the heat. You know, you get down to your blocks, you probably take this, no big deal. They say set, you're up. You're waiting for them to say go. You just don't want a false start. You have every morsel of your being, every muscle waiting to push, but you're just waiting for the gun to go off. Hopefully you don't false start, but either way, you need to push off fast and hard, so a false start is literally most likely going to happen to all of these runners occasionally. Anyway, they say go. You stride out the blocks. You're looking around you. You're looking good. There's not a lot more you can ask for in life. Either way, you get to 100 meters into the race, maybe like 80. Yeah, you get like 80 meters into the race. You're already running as fast as you can, right? You're out of breath. You've been running for about 7 to 8 seconds, and you've been pushing it all out for that 8 seconds. So you just want to stop. You just want to lay down and take a nap. But you see, Let's See Late Tebogo is like 20 meters ahead of you, and you're trying as hard as possible. So what do? You try a little bit harder. But Let's See Late Tebogo, he's not sitting there thinking about you trying harder behind him. he's just running his race. And at that 80 to 100 meter mark, that's when he ends up just taking off like a freaking bullet. There's not a lot you can do. He ends up getting like another like 10 meters ahead of everybody. So he finishes like 20 to 30 meters ahead of the field. And at that point, maybe not finishes, but at some point in the race, he's got like 20 meters on everybody. And all they can do is just try to run as fast as possible. They all end up running slower. Like, it's just what happens. Either way, it was a really good race. I am surprised by the results, but obviously we expected Lecilo Tobogo to win. Sadly, we didn't have the other athletes on the field. You know, Noah Lyles, Kenny Benerick, Arian Knighton. We were supposed to see a better race, but we had Noah Lyles drop out of the race because, you know, he's training so that he can beat Kashane Thompson now because Kashane's running too good. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys later.